We're not moving to another room again, John.
I know.
We're all going to have to move to your
Like-
office.
Musical chairs.
Somebody just started coming.
No, it's just me.
Okay,
We're
okay.
on, so,
Are we on?
yeah, we're on.
Okay, well, welcome, everybody. I'd like to call to order the September 10th, 2025 EAC monthly meeting. We all received the minutes along with the agenda. Are there any edits or objections or any changes from the committee to the meeting or to the minutes? Okay, can I have a motion to approve those minutes?
I move.
And a second? All in favor? Wonderful. This would be a time for public comments. Seeing that there are none, we will move on. The first order of business today is the nomination and election of the chair and vice chair. I just want to make everybody aware that that position goes from October 1st of this year to January 1st of 2027 in alignment with all other committee chairs and vice chairs. With that, can I have any nomination for the chair?
I'll nominate Jeff.
Any other nominations? Seeing there are none. All in favor?
By acclamation.
Okay, all right. Thank you. And can I have a nomination then for vice chair?
I nominate Melissa.
Okay.
Sorry.
I think what
Sorry,
that
Matt.
said was Melissa. So,
Are we nominating Melissa?
so seeing that Melissa was nominated for vice chair, do we have any other nominations? And that is by acclamation?
Mhm.
Okay, very good. Melissa, thank you.
Condolences.
Moving on to project updates. Melissa, can you please update us on sustainability?
Sure. So we had our first meeting with the students of the cohort from Penn State. We have 3 students who will be working with us through the school year, so very exciting. The first ask from them is for some general information about McCandless. We're going to be responding to some questions and then meeting with them to talk about some of the answers. It was about what goes into our town as far as economy. I can't recall the exact specifics of questions, but happy to share them to the group. If you'd all like to see those, at some point, we can send you all the email. But in our initial meeting, they also asked us to think about what makes McKenna special. How do we feel about the community and why is it special to us? So if any of you have any thoughts on that to contribute, or at Community Day, if you have any insights into that, you can bring that back to us as well and we could pass it along to them. Right now, they're pretty much waiting on information from us for electricity and natural gas and wastewater information, as well as solid waste. And they're hoping to get all of that information by the end of September. And then the other big takeaway from our first meeting with them, they will actually be holding an inventory presentation to the EAC group at our December meeting. So hopefully they'll be here in person and be able to share their findings with us, and it'll be very nice and exciting. And then in the second semester for the winter, they'll be turning that information into some type of plan for us, so an action plan sorts. Any questions?
Which has really been faster than I thought it would be. So that's
Yeah,
It's really, it's very impressive. And Melissa brings up a good point. We will forward everybody the questions in case you want to respond to them and give input to what they're looking for.
And Nick, honestly, if you could bring it to town council too and get their thoughts, that might be
Yeah.
helpful as well.
Great.
Send that out to them too.
Okay. Anything else for Melissa on sustainability? Okay, wonderful. Next to rain garden update from Joanna.
Sure. So I think this is where we're going to discuss. I had an idea, but I wanted to run it past you guys as far as business partnerships and reaching out to different things. And this relates to both rain garden and a little bit with the native plants and everything as far as how to bring in additional native plants. Before, when I seeded it, which is the best way to get dense planting within the rain garden, I used seeds from Ernst Seeds. And I happened to see online, even though they aren't specifically a McCandless company, but Sorgels, just down the road, is partnering with Ernst Seeds to promote, and they're going to be growing in their greenhouses PA native plants. And I think they're going to be nativars, not a lot of places around here do have native plants, but they are cultivars of native plants, and they aren't like usually the actual native plant that you can find if you went out into North Park or wherever. So I was thinking about reaching out to them and seeing different business ideas or even just different ways that we could connect with them. So even if it's a greenhouse tour, even if it's some kind of promotion back and forth between them, I wanted to reach out to, I was thinking Bernie, but I was, everybody who has more of the business sided background, what kinds of ideas you have along those lines that maybe I could inquire about before I reach out to them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they'll be doing trees or not, but one of the things that sells out in these tree adoption events very quickly are the shrubs and small trees. So, I would love to have them maybe focus on some native shrubs that we can also kind of do beyond just big canopy trees, but try to encourage people that way. So yeah, we'd love to see how we can incorporate that into maybe helping we grow the native kind of understory stuff too. Did I say that right, Ken?
Yeah, it's,
So-
they're not a nursery, but, but I think working with a local group like, with Sorgels is Sorgels has been in, I guess it's probably like the 5th generation at this point.
Mhm.
My first boss was one of the Sorgels. And so they've been in the North Hills a long time.
There's a couple of those like really, really old greenhouses that the Sorgels is one, and I was recently talking with the owner of one of the other like really ancient greenhouse facilities that's down in they're in Ross. I'm not sure. They're somewhere like further south, but North Hills that they were trying to figure out like which direction to take the business from here. So that's I don't know if you guys have heard of Geiger and Sons, but some friends of mine.
Yeah, we used,
Like I said, yeah.
the one branch of Sorgels used to have a nursery, a 37-acre nursery that's now houses. I used to prune 3 rows of yew bushes when I didn't have tree work to do. That was only 1,000 yew bushes.
So I like this idea. And I like this
Mhm.
partnership,
Mhm.
potential partnership. And would you then, go and introduce yourself and say that, we're discussing it at this level. And, if we have events, there might be something, maybe they can help sponsor them. And I mean, sponsor them just in a way that they make
Mhm.
seeds available at cost or something
Mhm.
like that. So there could be a little Sorgel, kiosk to some of the things that we do.
Ask them what they want to do.
Yeah, right.
And that's
Because
part of
yeah.
it too. What
they're-
would they be willing to
Right.
do and what kinds of things, like if they're like, oh, I don't know, what kinds of things I could bring up. I've had a couple people ask me about like if we could have somebody promote like some kind of native plant sale.
I'm going to get to that a little bit later.
Right.
I'm going to get to
And
that a little bit later.
that I didn't want to dig into that too much. I was
Yeah.
like, that's further on down the road. But I think this is a way where we don't promote it, but it's like in our area, even if it's not directly in the campus.
Mhm.
It's- I think Marshall or Franklin.
Still for the greater good.
I think they're from
That's Franklin Park.
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
Also, one of the Sorgels is my neighbors, if you guys
Oh.
need that connection.
That's cool.
So they're in McCandless residence.
Amy,
And I know Kevin.
Is there a random?
there is.
Well,
I've met Randy.
When I was starting the Pennsylvania Association for Sustainable Agriculture, I was working at that time with Penn State Cooperative Extension. I used to raise money for them. And I remember Randy and I were on the committee for a good number of years, like when that was going off the ground. But again, this is like, I don't know, 30 years ago. So I mean, it's history. But that was one time that I worked with them. And I know their goal at that time was to save the farm, right?
Mhm.
Like when everybody was selling off land for, development. So I think anything we can do to promote farm, maintaining farms for the region.
Mhm.
That's great.
I would bet that they have a dozen ideas that we haven't thought of.
I'm
Yeah.
sure. And
Awesome.
I'm just very curious about the program and what they have in mind. And
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to see a greenhouse tour. I think that'd be amazing. But I said greenhouses.
I think we support that.
Mhm.
Okay, anything else for Joanna? Okay, Bernie, update on anything for tree program?
Yeah, I just really did one slide to share, John. You had it? So if you just kind of go to the second slide, because I know everybody wanted to just do brief comments, so. So this is kind of the activities. I sent this all to you, but I incorrectly said our next meeting was September 8th instead of October 8th, so I'm sending you all a corrected version. But yeah, we have a lot of activities with the trees going on. You
Mhm.
know, as you can see by, you know, the list that Don shared. So Community Day, Don's going to announce it probably around 10 a.m. or somewhere, I don't know what time, the pre-adoption on September 18th. So when we're at Community Day, and we're talking about, we're holding a tree tender and a pre-adoption, we'll open up the pre-adoption program on the 18th, and it'll be the first 100 people who will get trees.
I see.
And
Okay,
there's a
I got it.
link on the flyer. So we have the link. We didn't put it on this flyer today. So in the handouts, it won't have the link because it will be first come, first serve. And John's gonna release it through social media on that day with the link. And the link looks like this. You know, it's a QR code that we have on this flyer. But rather than handing, so these would be the two things we could hand out on Community Day. So one is just promoting the adoption and one is promoting the tree tender, you know, program. They're both happening on the same day. So we figured exactly 1 month in advance, we'll open up the adoption, first 100 people will get trees. And they'll have a list of, I haven't seen the list of what trees, but that's it. There'll be the combination of big, small shrubs.
But on Community Day, we can promote the fact that on the 18th, we're gonna open that up.
If you want to say, tell people when, I think that's fair. And then John, it's just when you decide to release it, because they won't be ready. So we're coordinating, all of these signups are happening through Tree Pittsburgh, because it's part of what we pay for,
Mhm.
is their management of all of this, because they have the programs to do this, so.
Be able to get copies of double-sided version of that so that they get both, one sheet has all of that information
Yeah,
for
we
community.
could,
Day.
John's the one printing these,
Okay.
so,
We got a gang of them.
yeah.
He did make a bunch of
I
them.
mean, at this point, there's a little box over there.
Oh,
Yeah.
single sided.
And he printed them for Community Day, but I
Yeah.
agree with you. I don't know if you can do two-sided.
Well, if they're already printed, they're
I hear you. Save the trees, right?
yeah, right.
Anyway, so that's it. And I think what I'm looking for is a couple of folks who might be willing to assist with the tree adoption. So my hope is, I know you've got something going that day. So I do have a couple of folks, you know, who are attending the training, who said they could help with the adoption after.
What are the hours?
Pardon me?
What are the hours?
So it's
For the
on
adoption.
here, so from 9 to 3 is the tree tender training, and it will be here in this room. And then inside the Public Works building is where we'll be giving out the 100 trees. I don't think it will take long. We have a 2-hour window from 3 to 5 to give them out. But they do have a training for whoever is kind of running that. So I'm hoping that if, you know, EAC members might be willing to join me with the tree adoption training, like 3 to 4 of us. If we could do the training, she wants to do it in September 22nd or 23rd, time to be determined. And so they would teach us essentially how to do it, because they're not coming, we're really running the whole thing, even though they'll be here for the training. You know,
Mhm.
so anyway, so I'm looking for if anybody on the. committee.
I have to tell you, I am at a wedding that day and I cannot be there at all. It's my best buddy's son and I cannot make this.
Yeah, Can't ignore a wedding. I know
Yeah,
you've
well,
got-
this one I
Trunk or
definitely
treat.
can't.
I'm not available that night for sure. Not sure
Okay,
about
and
this
you're
one.
I have
on?
no life the
Yeah.
next month and a
All
half.
right, so
Sorry.
Ken, it's up to you.
Well, wait, did you say you have,
No, I
no
said I
life.
have no life the next month and a half.
oh, it's busy.
Elections.
It's pretty bad.
So,
Sorry.
so can you?
I
or
wish.
can you not? So nobody from the committee will
Is
be
Matt
at the
free?
tree tender training or?
I might be able to make the training, the tree tender, but that ends at 3. It seems that might be okay, but I have to confirm. I just know I have plans that evening. I'm gonna be smart plans. So. Is,
Alright. So.
oh, Matt's out of town, so.
Sorry.
Right. I'll figure it out. And that would bring me to my next slide, which is, Arch has agreed to co-chair the tree program with me, so that. I
Oh,
wow.
have Leadership and, somebody who will jump in, and we're recruiting, so we'll kind of, and that's what I've been looking for, is who will kind of work with me on this, and, so he's agreed to do that. So he and I have been back and forth with a bunch of stuff that he wanted to see occur, so. And he is available all day that day from 9 to.
Oh, that's
5
great.
To work with me on that day, so, and yeah, we'll probably, Julie Apollonia, so we signed up for the training, so we'll include her to help with the adoption, and if Ken ever decides to do that training, we'll include him as well.
Can I come at the last minute if I am free?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, and I'll put you to work.
If I can, I'll
And-
come.
Yeah.
In
I'll
the,
be able to, but
by that time, we may have some student.
Junior.
Yeah, junior,
that's,
yeah, yeah.
that's a good point.
Yeah,
It'd be
so,
great.
so I think there's some real possibility there. And again, I know, I apologize, and I know others would apologize too, that we can't be there
I
to
feel
help you,
yeah.
but
I would rather.
these are things that are unbreakable. This is certainly unbreakable for me. Yeah.
And Bernie, I don't know what the hours are for my event yet.
Mhm.
I know what day it is, and I'm very mad that my boss picked that day, but
I prefer to be sitting in a tree, but if you need help, I will be there.
I mean, what I was looking for is a couple of folks on signing folks in the morning, which again, I
I can probably help you in the morning.
and then, and yeah, the last thing of the day is actually gonna be a panel where Duquesne Light will be on the panel. And this whole right tree, right place, and we're gonna have somebody there. So Tree Pittsburgh, we didn't wanna have him speak on his own, so we put him on a panel, so it'll be kind of a, let's talk about trees and storms and we can do about it, so. anyway.
Also look at the planning guide that Judy did, to refer people to that, because that was one of our main things when we were putting that together, was putting the proper tree in the proper place. Not like the red oaks that they put underneath the power lines over going to LA Fitness.
Well, and I do think that's gotta be the message, and because Eugene Light has that as their campaign, trying to get them on board with, assisting, so they'll be with us that day too, for the tree adoption and for the tree tenders, so anyway, yeah. So we'll see how Eugene Light takes it.
Good.
So anyway, I know you wanted to keep it brief, so.
Well, that's perfect. Thank you. It's new business. Appreciate that. Any other questions for Bernie? Okay, moving on to community outreach. The Deer presentation is the next event after Community Day on September 30th. I got an update from Abby and there are 14 signups to date.
Okay. And John, you talked with Janine so that you've got.
Yeah, I plan on being here that night, so I can probably I can do a show for her when she talks
Okay,
and record it if we want to put it out.
I think we probably do.
I will
Okay.
be there for that presentation.
If you're
Yes.
able to attend, should we be signing up as well?
It's one of those things of people that think that the room's gonna be overflowing and we have 14 people signed up. So, be the judge.
Is it the same sign-in program that we use for, the speaker thing?
Yeah, civic rec. Now, it worked. It worked for other things. So I don't know why it didn't work for that one, but yes, please, if you can make it, then sign up and we'll get these numbers going.
She actually is pretty good. I mean, she has good slides and.
I'm
to-
sure.
To illustrate what she's talking about and everything.
Well, we'll push it hard at Community Day. We're gonna push the tree tenders and we're gonna push the the adoption, obviously, and we'll push
Dear
the
manager,
presentation, deer management.
What's the time of this again?
7 o'clock. going.
On the 30th.
If I could make it.
Anything else about that, Ken?
Yeah, it's everything's in place and it's just a matter of the event happening. I want to get in touch with her just so that we'll introduce her the way she wants to be introduced. Yeah,
Okay.
and then,
Yeah.
kind of let her go and we'll see what the response is.
Okay, and whatever you need from me, I'm there.
You're not gonna film it, right? Like, YouTube it? Yeah. Okay. I would keep asking because I just think it's a program I want to keep pointing to on the street program to be able to say, we need to do this.
Mhm.
right? So they're related, I think. We can keep promoting it after it's done.
Well, John, municipality have promoted heavily. It's in every publication that comes through. It's consistent. It's a consistent
Yeah, I'm
message.
actually really surprised by like how like few reactions it's getting on social media actually, because usually deer, like people,
People go crazy.
yeah,
And they're really, I mean, they're
Has anyone dropped any of the McCandless community Facebook groups?
That's what I was just about to ask. 'cause-
it's been shared, I know, in the
No.
community forum, just, yeah,
Because
little reaction there too.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised by that.
it's the reaction at the Master Gardeners thing. Virtually every person that stopped there, even though we weren't really publicizing it, but wanted to talk about deer.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Even
And-
at, what was that event we just did?
Yeah, right,
Tons of
sure.
people
National
had-
Night Out. That's,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So it seems to me from what I'm seeing is that the vast majority of people are very cognizant that we've got way too many deer. And we need to bring them back into balance.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
so we're winning that battle. It's just that presenting it, maybe presenting it is not the end all be all. Maybe it's something that we do. It's a service that we provide, but people are already signed up and ready to go, whatever the municipality decides to do anyways with an expanded deer call.
And
So,
the guys from Suburban Whitetail will be here. If anybody that's attending is interested in signing their property up with them, they'll be here for that.
Mhm.
And,
That's nice.
So, we're trying to make it that it's one-stop shopping, so to speak, for people.
okay,
But, my point is always that we killed 3 times as many with cars as we did with arrows last year, so.
okay. Anything else on the deer presentation for Ken? Okay, moving on to Community Day. We have lots of material. I stopped at State Senator Venkat's office and got additional material. I think there are a few other, and they actually had new material for me. So our booths have been stacked with, takeaways. We gave a lot away at National Night Out. We've replenished. We have some new stuff. We have the flyers. We have what we're trying to promote.
Do we have flyers for the deer?
I do.
Okay.
I do. Flyers for the deer and also flyers for the park. John made ones for the property owners too.
Mhm.
So we have for the deer presentation, we have for tree tenders. We have, everything is promoting that. We have, everything that we've had with regard to, some of the things that we're trying to highlight. We still have our little storyboards. We have all that stuff. And now we're moving on to, Joanna, you just want to sort of go into what we think we can do for, fun for,
All right, I have lots of fun
Yeah.
going on. So I was in charge of fun.
All right.
Yeah.
So it started with what was the craft going to be? Because since we're not going to have the edible earth wanted something that was accessible, but thinking ahead, I wanted something that anybody could do, and you could have it like easy for a 2-year-old up to if a 14-year-old wants to come and make a craft and they want to put a lot of effort into it, they are more than welcome to, and it could turn out really cute if they wanted to. So trying to think about that, and also thinking about, as a parent, what do I not want to carry around a festival? Anything that's covered in glitter, anything that's covered in wet paint, anything that's covered in wet glue, which ruled out a lot of crafts. But it's all right, because I came up with 2 that I feel like are kind of accessible, easy to do. We already have about half of the materials. So the first one, I also ran some of these ideas past children. This one is just leaf rubbing. I mean, we all do leaf rubbing when we're a kid, and let me tell you, it's kind of fun. It is,
I want to do it right now.
yeah, it is one of those like kind of satisfying things, and we can have a whole bunch of different kinds of leaves and everything, and the kids can, I have crayons, we can sit, we can rub the crayon. This isn't going to be messy. This isn't going to be too much. And this one was made specifically by a 3-year-old with disabilities, because I did it as like, how accessible is this? So this one was a 3-year-old.
Do we have a surface for them to do that on?
We can work on that.
Ground.
Yeah, that's gonna be the
Yeah,
tricky
yeah,
yeah.
part.
The
I
ground is
I
not
do
flat.
have a bunch of
That's a good point.
clipboards I could bring. That's a thing. Oh,
Card
that's a good
table.
point.
Card table.
Yeah, because
We're not on a corner.
we're not on a
Yeah.
corner.
Very
Yeah,
Yeah.
and those booths are not big.
With all the stuff we're gonna have on top of the table, we're not gonna have a lot of room for it.
Service space for that.
Mm, good point.
It's a great craft. We just
It's
need
great
to
crap,
stop.
and that's why
It's
I actually
great.
have not fully committed to buying any of the materials, because I wanted to make sure like what these were. So that is a good point that I didn't think about.
The clipboard idea isn't bad at all.
Yeah, I do
That would
have,
work.
I have about 10 clipboards.
And it's more than
That'll
that.
work.
Yeah.
Just
Even,
totally
even
feasible.
just 5
Mhm.
5 or 6
Mhm.
patrons.
So that one's easy.
I like it.
Mhm.
The other one that was really fun is a sun catcher. This one we didn't even decorate around the outside. This one's made by a 7-year-old. She really enjoyed the craft. I was able to ask her opinions about things, and she preferred this one to this one. And this one is just like different materials, and you can arrange it. If you're a 3-year-old, you're just gonna stick it on. And if you're a 14-year-old, I mean, you can arrange it and like cut them out and make it look like a lion or something like that.
Mhm.
It's your, I don't know, it's an interesting canvas. So this is a paper plate, cheapest paper plate you can buy. And then the slightly pricey part, this is contact paper. So it's not too bad. Depends on where you buy it. And like Target, it was about $8 a roll. I think you can get it cheaper, and I can get it off of like Amazon or something like that for cheaper. But it actually is kind of pretty, and this is something
Yeah,
I feel like people would be.
One weird
More
question, are you going
interesting?
to identify the tree leaf?
I'm going to at least make sure it's not poison ivy. Because I want to have like, I don't even have all.
Oh, I'm just looking at it as an educational thing, like this is a red oak, you know.
You could, and you can sit, and if the kid wants to know, if it's a kid that is interested in that kind of thing.
I was thinking
if
where the parents, when
possible.
they're watching the kid do it.
You could have like a sheet or like a chart or.
Well, you also have a scavenger
Well,
hunt sheet.
Yeah, funny enough, you
Which we
bring
have
that
copies of.
up. Yes, and I've made a copy myself too at home. So one of the other things, because I was thinking, well, having a craft going all the time seems like it's going to be a lot, and somebody is going to have to be like hovering over the craft the whole time and knowing how to do the craft, and it's just like constant chaos, because that's kind of how it was even at Winterfest. It's just someone's just constantly doing crafts, and it's a very, very long event compared to Winterfest.
Mhm.
So thinking ahead, because it's hard to say like how many materials we're going to need. We don't know how many kids are going to be there. We don't know. I don't know. We don't know what kinds of kids are going to be there, how interested they're going to be, how many other crafts they're going to be. So my thought is, if we kind of narrow the window, which Melissa and I spoke about, is going to be like from 2 to 6, I believe it was. About 2 to 6 is when we'll have crafts, but then we'll have other times, then we'll take little breaks in between. What do we have in the meantime if there's not a craft going? And so I had a couple different activities that I had in mind that we could have still available, but don't require someone to hover over a craft. So one of them is a scavenger hunt. So I came here Monday night and went out and did my best to identify all of the trees. Thank you to my app for double checking on what things are. That's pretty good with most of them. But so I have the different leaves and there found 9 different trees out there that are safely accessible through Devon Park area. And then I did my best to find pictures and put them on here so people can go through and like check them off if they find
Will
them.
they be finding those like down in the park, or will they have to venture up at all?
It is not in the rain garden. It's only like on the side, like kind of over to the side of the sidewalk that kind of goes across the bridge, and then a little bit like on the side by the playground.
Will you provide a basic cheat sheet in case they come back to ask us? And
Yes, because some of them are easier to find than others.
So
Like,
is there a prize if I get all of them?
Ken, if you don't get all of these, I'm going to be a little disappointed in you. But that's kind of my thought too with this. This is also an activity adults can do. Hey, how many adults couldn't identify a pinup? Yeah,
Most,
yeah, most,
98%.
most.
yeah.
So it's one of those like it's not bad for adults to kind of have fun with too. And I've mentioned it to a couple people, and they're like, "I'd love to do that." And actually, when I was doing the tree identification, I ran into one of my neighbors who had their little 3-year-old out playing, and they're like, "No, that sounds really fun. We come here all the time. We'd love to sit here and identify the trees."
Yeah, I
So
think it's something that the parents can do with the kids.
mhm,
Right, and the
Really
thing is
cool.
that even if they don't do it that day, they
mhm,
do it another day,
Right,
and you've
right.
educated them.
mhm.
You've educated them. So, and in the meantime, what I'll do is we'll be doing the wheel. The wheel will be always going for between, it'll spin, it's either compost, recycling, or garbage, and they'll guess what it is. And I have you want to just show that box of scrunchies?
Oh,
We
yeah.
have
Squishies.
we got like 130 of these little scrunchies for them too.
Yeah.
They get it right, they get this. If they don't get it right, then they get
Kids love those.
a sticker, that type of thing. So we have 130 of these. Matt, what do you think? What has been your experience at Community Day? How many people will come to our booth? And I mean, I know it's a big question, but will there be a lot, a little? Are we shooting too high, too low?
So previously, I'm trying to think about how many pudding cups we gave out. Do we remember by any chance how many we kind of started with last year? Because that's how I would do my count. I don't remember specifically how many people we've seen, at the booth total.
Was it busy though?
it was busy.
Yes.
Community Day?
It was really busy. And once he started the game, I felt like it was sort of nonstop people as
Mhm.
long as he was doing that. I almost think you might want double that.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
It's also, it's
It's
a long
it's
day.
longer
Yeah,
than it has
right.
been in the
And
past.
Yeah.
Halloween's coming anyway, so
Yeah.
if you don't use them all up, you can give them. to
Oh,
kids.
yeah. As I said,
Yeah,
kids love those.
that's a really, really good idea. instead of
Okay.
Candy.
Yep. Okay. Okay. Joanna, anything else?
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, I have fun. So Bernie brought up last time, how can we have the kids plant a tree? So I was thinking about it and I had a fun idea. So one of the things I have at work, and I was thinking it might be fun for the little kids to have, and especially if we have kids there that enjoy sensory activities, which many kids do. It's a way of making the whole park a little bit more accessible. It's good for regulation, that kind of thing. And we do this at my job all the time, where you just have a bin of some kind of material, a lot of times beans, rice, pasta, done, and kids will scoop it, they'll pour it, they'll all kinds of things, goes all over the floor, get a vacuum, whatever. So I was like, what if I could turn that into a tree planting activity? So for dirt, I didn't bring it in, but I have a bag of sunflower seeds, because I figured that's it's dark like dirt, but kids aren't going to have an allergy to it. It's kind of fun. And then I made a tree that we can plant, and I'll have like little scoops and things the kids can still play in there. And I think I might be able to borrow the sensory table for my work.
Mm.
It just disappear for the weekend. nobody will know. And so I made my little tree, and then you can show kids how to like, oh, we're gonna push this off. We're not gonna pull it out. And look, here's our little root ball. And then we could talk about the different things with the root ball that we could do. And then we could plant it in the ground and talk about how deep we need to plant it. We could have little signs out there about how to do it. Or kids could just play with it. Or they could just scoop things into it, however it works. But I made a cute little tree that we can plant.
Nice.
Also, one of the things someone brought up was reading a book. I know Matt mentioned one book. I had another one that it stemmed off an idea that Melissa brought up when I was showing her the list of other random activities I had floating around my head. And one was like a contest for like judging kids for how creative they could stomp on a fake lanternfly with points for creativity, effectiveness, and passion. They're kids. And Melissa's like, I don't know how much we want to promote, even though it's lanternflies, how much we want to promote stomping on bugs. And that triggered a memory. I have a book on not stomping on bugs. So if we want to do some book readings, we could read this. This is really cute. Where we talk about, June teaches her friends that bees are very busy helping flowers and other plants grow, and it's better to let them work. The bees are thankful. It's very cute.
Are we going to have any student volunteers with us? Did we get any on time?
That's a great question.
Matt.
Matt. Sorry.
So don't apologize vocally. So the volunteers are all coming through Abby. So they have all signed up through her, and we have let her know that we need volunteers, but I don't know if we ever let her know exactly how many we need or when we needed them or anything along those lines. So if we haven't heard from her yet, she may have volunteers that we can get, but I don't know that any have been assigned to us yet.
Okay, I would propose that we follow up with her and ask if we could specifically have any volunteers between 2 and 6. That would be the most helpful window when we're planning to do the additional activities to help support Joanna.
I'm happy to email her.
Anything else, Joanna?
I think that's all I have. I think the rest is all your wheel of fun.
Okay, good. And which we're still working on. So that should be something that we certainly will complete, and it's something we can do throughout the day, and we'll get more scrunchies. Now, with that, Melissa, timing.
Yeah, so I did send out a schedule. Did everybody see that schedule? Did it come through? Are there any possible conflicts with any of that? Or does that work for the most part? I do have one slight change. Would it be possible if I cut out closer to 4 instead of 5? If we'll have Ken and Joanna for sure during that time. My mom is doing. Oh, okay. So that would work out perfect as long as it's okay for you, because my mom is doing a surprise last minute visit. So I'm not very happy about the date. But.
Can you read that schedule then, please, so
Yes.
everybody's aware of it,
Yeah.
and me as well.
You and I will get there for setup. I
Mhm.
don't know what time that begins, so I was going to ask you about that.
Well, I mean, we did it for now,
12:30.
12:30.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
that's fine.
okay. Okay.
No, I think 12:30 is like the last. They open up at 10:30, and then no more cars on the parking lot after I think 12:30.
So
Okay, I'll be there. I'll be there.
12:15.
I have all day. I'm just be pacing until we start this thing. So I live 5 minutes away. I'll bring down and I'll set everything up.
Last time. So,
What?
and we need rocks this time.
We do.
Mhm.
Yep. Yep.
We'll-
Yep.
We'll figure this out. So Jeff and I will set up. I'll be
Mhm.
there until 4, and then Bernie can come from 4 till 8. Jeff will be there. Ken, I tentatively had you there from 3 to 6, but if you want to adjust that a bit, you're more than welcome to.
That's fine.
Okay, and then Jeff would take a mini break as needed, or
Mhm.
still stay if he wanted to, and then he'll sort of cover the 6 to 8. And then we have Joanna there for craft time fun from 2 till 6. And our thoughts were that crafts would operate with 45-minute windows during each of those hours, so that she could have her 15-minute of downtime break And it would give the opportunity to switch to a new craft or however we decide to do it. So that was the general plan. And then that was it. So we'd have, for the most part, 3 people there. If we get the student volunteers as well to help with the crafts, that would be amazing
Mhm.
if we're able to. Otherwise, the first hour and the last 2 hours, there will just be 2 adults there and crafts
Mhm.
won't be ongoing. So it's more talking and wheel and promoting everything we do as well as getting
Yeah.
people to sign up. Make
Yeah,
sure we have sign-up
that's
sheets.
right. That's right. Sign up sheets. Oh, Melissa, very good.
I didn't see it in there.
Yeah. Okay, very
So
good. Good,
that's a
good
schedule
reminder.
then. Thank you for the flexibility there.
Yeah.
Brittany. Sorry
Everybody
about-
good with that?
Where are we parked, or where is the parking?
I don't know that. I
I saw signs that they were gonna do a shuttle from,
saw an email come through and it was talking about, like the one that you said, it's something about parking, but not being able to get out. So I don't know. Is Abby, are we able to follow up with Abby for more questions on the parking situation?
Well,
especially since we have.
Her email mentioned that if we sign up on on her link, then there'll be parking information, but I don't know that it's parking information like, oh, hey, you're coming at 6 o'clock or whatever that it is. We've got a spot for you. I don't think it's down to that. I mean,
Well-
Abby could never, that's too much detail.
so
Her sign-up
we're
sheet-
gonna be using the parking lot over by Heritage Center, or where you can park there.
They closed that off.
Okay.
There is some parking there
So I might just walk down.
if you can.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're right.
I
Yeah.
was planning on having John drop me off. So as long as there's a place close enough, I can walk.
Ken, that's a good idea.
And we're done at 8, but then the fireworks are at 8:45. Did I get that right? Or?
Fireworks, I think, are right at 8.
I thought they were
Are
at
they?
8.
I think they're closer to 8:30.
Oh, was it?
Okay.
Pretty much everyone's probably gonna be done around 8, I think.
Okay. Yeah. the
Yeah.
meeting's closed at 8.
And they won't care about us at that point. They're gonna be gathered. So, 7:30, we'll be starting to break our stuff down for sure. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
There's also apparently a marching band that goes through at one point, and there's activities up in that other field
Yeah.
this year too. So
Yeah.
they seem to have grown. We have a skydiver coming.
Oh, okay.
Did not see that.
Everybody loves a skydive.
I just saw that there were not allowed to be any roaming mascots, so I know not to wear my litter bug costume. Got it. I can't roam even if I do. So
Well, that's a shame. They mean even you?
yeah,
There's gonna be at least 1 or 2.
Yeah.
I'm
'Cause I know
pretty
that
sure it
road-
said
one
on
of the
there because you're
roads-
not allowed to leave more than 5 feet from your booth. And
Well, it didn't say you couldn't dress up.
yeah, you're allowed to dress up. You're just not allowed to roam if you're dressing up.
Okay, so then we are on our way then.
swear I
I mean,
read that.
certainly with the schedule, on our way with that. You're okay with, and anything that you buy, and we can expense, we have a budget, all that kind of stuff. So, keep all that.
So finalize the wheel.
yeah, and
Yes.
we just have to finalize the will. Okay, good. So we're good now for, we're good now for Community Day. Everybody's good. Okay. Any other comments about that?
Looks like Matt's
Joe
typing.
Bistardi from Weatherbell
I don't know if
says
it's for
the
us. Nope. Okay.
last 10 days of September, the first 10 days of October are when all the hurricanes are gonna come through, so.
All right. So open initiatives, the first one on there is the junior EAC member. And I'll characterize this as best I can. Anybody can jump in if they want to. We had interviews on Monday evening of 3 candidates. And we had, we had good, robust conversations. One of the candidates, which we feel very strongly about, is a McCandless resident, but attends high school at Taylor Alderdice. And then the other 2 were both McCandless and North Allegheny students. We would like to, anything else I'm missing there that might be interesting for the crowd? Okay. So with that, we did come up with 2 that we would like to move forward with. And what we're looking for from this committee is a sort of an affirmation that you would be okay to have 2 student EAC members join us, at every meeting for the next, school year.
I think it would be interesting to have the opposing opinions then, because they're not both at the same school. They have different.
It'll be cool.
We saw
Viewpoints.
a lot of reasons, a lot of good reasons for them to, they had different talents. And we thought that they could, they could both rise, rise up
They
together,
will
little
complement each other.
competitive, little cooperative. We thought that it was sort of a win-win where we had somebody who could be, embedded in NA, but somebody else who could go out into the world.
Mhm.
And the one who is already more, the one who interviewed better and seems like she's more used to doing outreach and things like that will be able to help the one who is at McCandless Mobile School and help bring it to her district too. So it should be good. It should be
Yeah.
fun to have too. Both seem very capable.
We think they will be interactive. So we're pretty happy with that. Matt, any other thoughts of this? Okay. So agreeing upon that, we'll now move to the roadside cleanup date. And this becomes a little tricky. So bear with me on this. Easter is April 5th. Opening day of Trout is April 4th. So flipping that, April 4th is the opening day of Trout. Easter is April 5th. So you would lose Boy Scouts, different things like that potentially for the 4th. The ACT test, Matt, I'm out over my skis right now, are April 11. Is that a thing?
Yeah, you don't want to interfere with the ECT.
Okay, well then we're gonna have a tough time. So now the prom is April 18th.
Oh my gosh.
When is their spring break?
Earth Day is April 22nd, and the PSSAs are April 25th.
Jeez.
There's not a weekend in April. Go ahead, Matt.
Why don't you do that?
Sorry, did you say the PSSAs? Because those should be an in-school TET. They wouldn't be on a weekend.
Okay,
Oh, that's a good.
or maybe it just says the week of. Maybe what I looked at the NA calendar, it says week of.
Hmm.
Okay, so Earth Day is actually a weekday. Yeah. So why don't we, then it looks to me like April 25th, which is always better than April 4th because the weather, April 4th is March, basically, and April 25th is May. So I think we got a better shot at the weather. So it looks to me, and anybody can chime in here, it looks like April 25th might be the day for our roadside cleanup.
It's gonna rain that day, but that sounds good.
Okay. Okay.
Don't jinx us.
Okay.
The plants won't have grown very much at all at that point, so it's still good.
Okay, good.
Matt, did you have your hand up?
Okay, so then agreeing upon April 25th. John, I'm sure that's
Do we have
important
a
for you.
backup date?
The backup date would then be moving into May. That's a good one. So it would be, so the backup date, I don't think there's anything for, what would it be? May 2nd or something like that?
When does school end?
May third.
A little further in.
Okay, so was it May 3rd? Is it Saturday?
The second.
Second.
Okay, so May 2nd is our backup day then. Very good. Okay, moving on from there. Miscellaneous.
Oh, hold on.
Yes,
Yeah, Matt.
yes, Matt.
Just FYI, May 2nd is an SAT date. So just so you know.
May 9th?
These kids.
Any issue with May 9th?
Okay, so May 9 is a backup. And again, when does school get out? Oh, that wouldn't be until late May. Yeah, okay, good. Okay, thanks, Matt. Okay, moving on to miscellaneous. Open EAC position. As everybody knows, Mark has resigned his position on the committee. We do have an open position now. John, do you know if that was past council in the last meeting? I guess it was
Yeah,
past Monday.
Yeah, the resignation
It
was
passed.
accepted on Monday.
Yeah.
Okay,
And we're not advertising yet because there's a bunch of other positions to advertise. I don't know if it's gonna be rolled in with that or not yet, but it's likely that happens. We did get someone who applied early though, so We at least have one resume on file now.
For the open EAC position?
Yes, the name escapes me, but they did submit it.
Okay, and all the better to have two students, I think, because we are down one committee member. You know, I'm sure, you know, if it is a you know, an active member, then that person will jump in. But it's nice to have, you know, fresh faces and all sort together. So
Have you named by name the two students? 'Cause I didn't catch that.
we did not.
Okay.
We need to do some other formalities before we do that. And it needs to go to council and be approved by council.
You're not
And
able to share it with the group ahead of time? You just don't know.
well, if I share it by the group, this is recorded. So somebody then knows that they're been chosen and somebody knows that they haven't been chosen.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Good point.
Hmm.
Can we share it after the?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Let's skip that McMill tip right now. So anything else on the open EAC position?
Is there a certain kind of candidate that you're seeking at this point?
An active one.
Passionate.
Yes.
Living.
Yeah.
Fire in their hearts.
They
It's-
have to be in the.
We
Kansas.
originally did it that we had to have somebody from each ward, and we found that that was
That's
an
insane.
impossible thing to do.
That's insane.
So it's in, so if we have anybody who has good interest in things like that, I mean, that's really where we are.
Yeah, if anybody, good, thank you, Ken. So if anybody knows of somebody, you know, please encourage them. I mean, you know, I met Kurt from Van Drive at the, you know, at the Potter Park purchase. I mean, he is a very, you know, he is,
I know him, yeah.
yeah, I mean, we know Kurt. I mean, I'd love to see Kurt apply, but,
Is there a benefit to reaching out to all of our potential volunteer, like all the people who signed up to volunteer with us? We can send an email out to them, letting them know that there's an open position in case anybody,
Yeah, sure.
because then it would be,
okay.
I'll clean it after we collect more names this week and we'll have
Okay,
it.
there was one person who requested to be off the list. I gotta go back and dig that out, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it your list or our list?
It was her list. I sent the, so it's the EAC list, but I just sent out a message.
There's a few different places where the list links. We need.
Yep.
That's good to know, though. Thank you, John.
Okay, so moving on with that, we're good with that. Okay. I want to move on to C, the 2026 budget. So I was encouraged by Borough Manager John Schwinn to give him a budget. Our budget is currently $1,000, which I'm guessing that we moved through pretty fast, John.
We did.
Do you, I mean, do we have a department code that we expense
So-
things to the budget?
So that 1,000 was put under the stormwater department code for some reason.
Mhm.
Which kind of makes sense, but I think they just need to find a place for it. I think some items, when we went past that, came out of my communication budget, and I think some of it comes out of Abby's rec budget as well.
Okay,
We did meet earlier this week briefly to talk about the budget, mostly communications, but they seem to recommend initially maybe about $6,000 this year, especially considering some of the tree costs that we're having.
Mhm. Okay, so the recommendation is $6,000.
About there, right there, yeah.
Okay, and so what cost would come out of that? Would be the cost that that the borough has underwritten with regard to the tree tenders course and the would that already be in that budget?
I think if there's gonna be any tree actions in 2026, it would come out of that, yes.
Okay. Now,
Calendar year.
Calendar year, yeah.
and so, you know, and I look at 6,000 and I mean, I look at 6,000, I say that covers your, you know, your little stuff and that covers my little stuff. And that covers, you know, some things and I make a little sign here or something like that. And that covers probably everything that you would think about, right? And Ken, that would cover everything that you would think about. Bernie, you know, is your stuff, can your stuff fit into that? Or would your stuff be like, it's offline? It would be,
I mean, this is why I want to work with the staff on, there are very specific grant programs with the state for trees.
Mhm.
And there are other local grants as well. So we missed the window because of the changeover of, you know, losing the town manager. And,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
right at the moment when all of them were due, they're usually due between March and May. And even like the latest the gambling funds, again, I think, the township has, plans for certain buckets of grant programs that then, we may not want to do the tree program with, but likewise, one of the things I hope to get underway is kind of a sponsored program, but again, I think that all needs to be coordinated through,
Oh, okay.
the township staff.
Right. So to my point, and Matt, I didn't mean to bypass you. Do you have any thoughts of, that something that you are thinking about would be greater than the 6,000 that we're discussing? So, fitting into that 6,000 would be normal activity, would be normal cost that we incur. If you're going to say we want to plant 1,000 trees and this is going to cost, 20, whatever, $1 million or $20,000 or whatever that is, it's going to be covered by something off this budget. So then 6,000 seems like a good number for us then.
Yeah, and maybe it could sponsor, the 17 or 1,400 for the tree tender, like one tree tender.
Certainly.
And then the rest, you're right, we could fundraise, and I'm talking like grants for 100,000.
Sure.
West Penn Power at this point, we talked to them
Mhm.
about doing a spring planting for about, 100 trees.
Right.
That would be sponsored, same with Duquesne Light at this point,
Mhm.
a request for sponsorship, so we'll see what comes in. But that's what I've said, is I didn't want to come after the Canvas Town budget. We need to raise the funds, but, it really is I don't mind filling out the applications, but it needs to be coordinated. So, we'll
Okay.
Continue to work.
Okay,
with the
great.
staff on that.
So is everybody then okay with a budget of $6,000 for 2026 for the EAC?
Mhm.
Okay, John, do you then communicate that?
I will let him know that they like that number, that you guys like that number.
Okay, good. Thank you.
You will approve that much.
I personally will, and I don't see any of my fellow members having any qualms with that.
That's great. Well, they see what we're doing. They see what we're
We-
accomplishing.
Value everything you guys do a lot.
Wonderful. Thank you for that. Next up is the McCandless 175th. I did join that committee and I was concerned in the beginning because I thought, well, there's just another thing I put my hand up for, but I go in there, there's 16 people there and there's 16 connected people there. So it is a, they are representing every area in McCandless, and the workload for the EAC and my representation is limited to exactly what we want it to be. And that is, promoting the tree program. That is, identifying, mature trees and having a tour, having park tours, all that kind of things that are in our wheelhouse. I didn't sign up for anything else. Like I'm going to be out there, standing on the corner trying to collect money for this thing. So the McCandless 175th is represented by the EAC. It is an appropriate representation, and it is an active committee that will not go on forever. It will just go on for the rest of the year, and I'm fine joining that committee. So just want to let you know that we're represented, and I think we're represented in a way that we want to be represented.
Is there a way you could bring back kind of the meeting minutes or notes so we could then?
I can. Thank you for saying that. I'll do that. Yep. Okay. Okay. Anything else on that? Okay, moving on to the regional EAC reboot. And, for those that have been around a couple of years ago, that was something that the North Hills regional EACs would do, I think, on a quarterly basis, and somebody would sponsor it. I believe we sponsored it one time. Hampton sponsored it one time, and it would be Pine, Hampton, McCandless, Ross, and a few other ones. And I think that lacks leadership right now, but I think we would get a lot out of that. And I think I would like to move ahead by trying to put that back together. I talked to Liz and I talked to KP at Pine. I've been talking to KP at Pine, and they're like, yeah, we'd be all in. So it would be, we'd meet at the pavilion at Devlin Park. Whoever wants to show up can show up. Basically, you just welcome people, you have some snacks, and you talk about initiatives that you're working on in your community, and you share ideas.
It's really worthwhile because they have some different ideas and they have some different connections and things like that. So it's really a really good networking thing to be able to get different programs up and started, and they know about different grants and things like that.
Yep.
So I think it's worthwhile to share all the different EACs to get together and share.
Okay, so if you guys are okay, I'm going to sort of run with that one and try to put that together, and we'll think about the beginning of next year or the first quarter of 2026 for a meeting.
So you're not gonna start it until next year?
Well, I mean, I'd like to sort it earlier. I really would. I'd like to sort it earlier, but we'll see how it goes.
At the end of the holiday season, I think it might be smarter just to reach out, maybe get some scheduled for.
Making contacts, different things, and then so if I could do it, it would be probably by November would be the earliest, something like that. And you want the weather to be acceptable, that you're standing outside as opposed to standing around a burning barrel or something like that.
No, sometimes they're inside too, like with Ross, it was inside.
Okay, but I'll come back to the committee and let you know what I find out, and if it can go earlier, I will.
Yeah, I mean, I know, Liz is the one that said she would have space for these replantings in the spring. So to
Mhm.
me, that's where, again, I just need to move back with her. It was all based on whether or not she could get clearing
Mhm.
in the park, in the Arboretum area for about 200 trees. So, I just need to coordinate that. But that's what I mean. Is I feel like a lot of them are the same people.
Yes,
And, that's where it'd be nice to have a way to, all of us kind of collectively communicate instead of.
agree. Can you send me her email, please, Bernie?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And different EACs have different quote unquote responsibilities, like Hampton is, with Liz, they're involved with zoning and things like that also.
Mhm.
So different EACs have different criteria that they're taking care of.
Yep.
So it's a really good networking thing to just sit down and chat with other people.
Yeah, what we have to realize when we do that is that there are resources available. They may have environmental engineers or something. Their committee there might be a requirement that they have somebody on there. We're not that. I mean, the subject matter expertise is, you have it, Bernie has it, in your field, and we have it, in other things, but we don't have scientific representation on this committee. So
The one guy from Ross actually was on nuclear power plants and stuff.
yeah. So I will move forward on that. And Bernie, if you could send me your email, I'll connect with Liz. Thank you very much. Okay, great. Okay, then the next one is a pretty big discussion, but it's one I think is very, very interesting, and I've been tabling it. But John, if you could bring up the link for Birdtown, PA. So Birdtown, PA is, and that's a bird, is under the umbrella of the Pennsylvania Audubon Council. And I talked to Nick Stallman, Community Conservation Coordinator at the Audubon Society in Fox Chapel. Fox Chapel is a member, Pine is a member. If you could scroll down a little bit, John. And right there, so it says, with municipal leaders, we engage and work together to, and we can read all those things, but restore habitat, manage stormwater, address climate change. Okay, so, but they work with the municipal, they give you expertise and they give you support. So scroll down a little bit more, John. Remove invasive plants. In the community, we actively develop, offer, engage, and educate about. So they give you resources to educate the community in invasive species, in tree management. They will give us resources to reach out into the schools, stormwater management, one of our candidates for the junior EAC is particularly interested in stormwater management, removal of invasive species. They partner with the community to address these issues, the very issues that we want to address. And then lastly, John, if you could scroll down a little bit more, with residents, we educate, engage, empower, and provide native species information, native plant information, landscaping tips. You know, it goes on and on and on and on what they can do. So it's basically what it is. It is a partner in some of the very things that we are attempting to do. And all it takes is to pass a resolution and pay $100 fee from the standpoint of the township. This was brought to me by Joe Wall. And I know that it's supported by, I believe that it's supported by John Schwen, the business manager, because his last community, I think, was a Birdtown, PA. John, could you go over to the next screen? And I believe it is the Pine. Yeah. So this is Pine's EAC screen. This is on their so Birdtown, Pennsylvania, about the program. They talk about this. They were named the Birdtown community in 2025, so beginning of the year, and some of the things that they are doing in the community. And a lot of this are things that we're already doing. So we already basically meet the criteria for, membership into this. And what there would be, it would just be a supportive group for us, and it would sort of memorialize some of the things that we do and give us resources to better do them in the community. Go a little bit more down, John. So they talk about
What obligation would we have?
just to report to them what we've done. The same obligation that I have in their format, the same obligation that I have to council, and I'm going to be doing this in the next month, reporting what we've done over the past year. And I talked to Nick about the things that we're doing. He's like, yeah, this is you're doing what you need to do, even down to the fact that we do the litter cleanup. It all fits into this. This is basically just a foundation of what we do, but gives us support, I think, to do it better and to reach to areas that we don't know how to reach into. I think it memorializes what we do. It makes us more formal, I believe. And I don't mind that. So walks in the park, there's Pine's goals, promote lights out. So we do that, include articles about Birdtown, PA, in their newsletters, organize a bird walk. So we could do that in Potter Park, different things that are,
Adopt let's say.
a Pineway, adopt a
highway.
Pineway, or adopt a highway in McCandless, which is what we're doing.
Right.
So a lot of these things, and I think what I'm looking for is, I think I'm looking for something that makes the EAC a little bit more robust in the footprint of McCandless's information to people. And I like this screen. I looked at this screen and said, boy, this is something that really promotes what they're doing. So it lets people know what we're doing and what our goals are.
I think this also ties in nicely with what the Penn State students are helping us to do,
Mm-hmm.
because what they're going to develop for us in the spring is in perfect alignment with the same thing.
Yes.
I'm in.
Yeah. So, and they also would bring regional, they have regional meetings, speakers. So they have a speaker series we could attend or not attend. They actually have one, it's tonight. And they invited me to it. I'm like, well, I can't go tonight. They're like, well, you can come and meet everybody who else is in it. Fox Chapel, Pine. There's no reason why McCandless for $100 in passing a resolution can't have something that would, even if we sort of fumble around a little bit and try to figure it out, I think it's still beneficial to us to give it a try.
Can I make that motion?
Please do.
I'll make the motion. We become a Birdtown.
Great.
Yeah, but
We're
my only
already-
concern was any obligation it was giving to us, and
There's a
that doesn't
document
seem
on
like
their
that's a.
website for an annual report. We already honestly have a lot of this points just from looking at it.
There,
It blinds,
Yeah.
It's And if they're providing us resources that we can then share with the community, no reason not to, plus it gets our name up there with all of our neighboring municipalities.
Yes, John, could you go to the next link, please? And looks like you want to ask a question.
I was just gonna say, we have a motion in a second. I don't know if you guys want to actually vote on that or not.
All in favor? Very good.
How did that do?
Was that an all in favor? Aaron, do I see a paw up there? Very good. And then you can see, yes, thank you, Matt. You can see Pine officially recognizes a bird town. That's in the Trib. And then there's smiling faces, and they get a nice little article.
This
So-
is a quick aside, anybody that's interested in migrating birds, if you go over to Hawk Mountain at this time of the year, it's over halfway across the state, but that's where all the eagles and hawks and all that stuff migrate through. It's a pretty, and there'll be a lot of ornithologists there, so even if you don't know anything, there'll be 100 people there that can tell you what you just saw.
Mhm. So, we too could be standing and smiling and for the paper on this. So, thank you for accepting that. I think it's a great foundation for us, and I think it's no different than what we're doing now, but I think it sort of memorializes a little bit more of what we've done and gets the information out and makes us a little bit more formal to the community. And I'm interested in doing that. Then lastly, any comments at all, Matt? We don't want to miss you. Mhm.
Yes, quick,
Go ahead.
just a quick question regarding the at least 3-member Birdtown Committee for Long-Term Sustainability. Would that just be us? Would that need to be a different group? Would that be members of this group? How would we be forming that particular group?
It's a good question because you do have to form a committee. I think it mostly sits in EACs, but I will find out about that because maybe what happens is that it might be an EAC member, because this is the way that it was for PA Sustainability, a sustainability team, an EAC member, a township employee, and then a council member, something like that. So it could be, maybe Joe Wall, is it, or Nick or whatever, but, so it might be that, but I'll find out what the complexion is.
It also says at least 3 member, so 3 is the minimum.
Mhm.
I don't see why we would.
All of us. Mhm. Okay. Anything else, Matt? Please don't do that, Matt.
I mean, we could even throw it out there to some of the other committees. Like, I know there's a guy who does water stuff on planning committee because he's my neighbor. So, maybe he'd be interested in having some role. So,
Yeah. Yep, because stormwater management and,
Mhm.
yep. Okay, and then lastly, in miscellaneous is October McMail tips.
We had an idea and I don't remember what it was.
Well, I think, no, we posted some migration on social media, is that right?
In the past, yes. Not
Okay,
this week, but
okay. I think the heaviest time for bird migration might be past, but there's no reason why we can't use this as this month to talk about dimming the lights a little bit.
I think there was some discussion about air quality last time too, maybe.
That's what it was,
Yeah.
because we were
Yeah,
talking
I was
about
the
getting
one
that
talking
purple
about
air
air quality,
system.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the air quality's been phenomenal for really good for the last, 3 weeks. So we've been able to open the windows for the first time. Yeah, I mean, if you want, I could do something on the air quality, and managing during the smoke events. I mean, the Western fires, like right now, we still have fires in LA, and it's, the Canadian smoke is the biggest issue, but I think right now, because we don't have a lot of the smoke occurring, it's not as bad of an issue. But you tell me, I think it's important. I mean, I really focus a lot on indoor air quality with COVID lungs, so. Yeah, if we have a red day, like the day we all went on a hike, that was like a pretty high orange day, and I know I'm in trouble breathing. So, so I think, making people aware, that there are issues.
Is it a timely issue? Is it now? I mean,
Well, to the extent that there are wildfires in the west or the northwest that are sending smoke here,
mhm,
it's an issue. But to the extent that right now, at this moment, there's not,
mhm,
or at least they're not hitting us. We've had all green skies, green air for the last 3 weeks. But we haven't had it all year, for the
Mhm.
record. I mean, we've just had the best air quality in the last 3 weeks that we've had all year. So, it's been a really unique moment. And I think it's, we didn't have rain, which is odd. But anyway, up to you whether or not you want to do air quality at this point.
well, I don't have an issue against it. I think that we might be a little late on a bird migration message. We could still send out social media posts to please, maybe you can repeat a few of those. Because I think some residents would like to see those. So maybe we could do that. So we can not do that, but the air quality competes with your tree message. So you chose, unless somebody else has an opinion about this. I mean, I think you have two messages. So I want you to pick the one that you want to put out.
I mean, I'm looking.
You could even tie them together because trees.
Mhm,
have
mhm.
air quality.
Mhm.
I agree. And I do think, in part, what I had hoped to promote with the air quality message, was the tree plantings. But, if you were to look at the map just briefly,
Mhm.
you can just see, we don't have a lot of purple air, so
Mhm.
we're not gonna have horrible air quality, at least not at the moment. So, but yeah, I could tie them together, but I do
That's
think,
good.
talking about this being an important time to look at your trees, manage your trees, it's like prep them for winter. And then, of course, there's always, the reminder about picking up, the leaves for your neighbors who can't do it.
Mhm.
So I think we did a little bit of that last year. So I think I'd like to talk about, something on tree.
Yeah, you had a great one last year. It was really, it was, did we do the tree one last year for November 1st or for October 1st? Because really the leaves start falling. It's November, it's the heaviest, but
Mine's my maple.
it's a little early this year, I guess.
Yeah,
So,
they've started
Moisture
falling.
stress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're very stressed right
Yeah.
now. So I already
So it
have
might be a little bit
on-
different.
on the grass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
So
a
I-
lot of dead weeds, a lot of the
right.
Yeah, so I think, let me focus on trees, what's happening with trees in October. And
Yeah.
what they could do, and.
Last year, we didn't have a tip in October
Ooh,
for 2024.
Bernie.
We had light pollution in 2023, no tip in 2022, pumpkins, recreational burning, and trash for prior years. But last year there wasn't one for October itself.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
you'll be
so I-
breaking new ground.
Yeah, I would always love to do, trees in October.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So your
So
topic is tree.
What's happening with trees in October, you can plant, there's only a couple times a year you can really plant, so I think it's perfect now. The planting period.
I just updated the list,
Huh?
so it's in there for 2025.
okay, great. And then, like you said, maybe you can tie that in and maybe, make that the main body of your work, but say, and trees obviously help with the, the air, the situations of code red, blah, blah, blah. Can I ask, now we have the sensor here.
Not yet. Yet.
Oh, we didn't get it yet.
No.
Okay, because we can't, because I was
We're gonna do it
thinking,
before the end of the year.
Right.
okay,
But when you do that, we could do the air quality thing, because there is a group called, that's the one that I went through the course with a couple of years ago. It's called ROCIS, but they do free trainings for indoor air quality. It's kind of the training I took.
Mhm.
It's sponsored sign up and you can learn about indoor air quality. That's how I got all my meters, was through that program.
Mhm.
Indoor, outdoor, the air things, the radon monitors. Because I would like to, in that same air quality thing, talk about radon.
Okay,
Because I know we've got a massive issue with radon. I've been dealing with radon in my place, so I just put a bigger fan in. I'm putting a return air system in because I've been monitoring radon for a year now, and I have the data and why things do and don't work. So I feel like we do need to educate people more about radon, and even if they get, what was installed on mine was a little fan.
Mhm.
We not put a big one on, and it's helped, but it's not solving it yet, so. it's
Okay.
interesting How, these radon systems.
so we'll tie that one in down the road then. Okay, so we have our tip then for October 1st. Very good. That's great.
Indoor air quality is what I worked on in DC in 1980.
Okay, Nick, do you have a report from town council?
Nothing really to add other than, just, we'll make sure that those 2 junior members get put through. Can we add that onto the next meeting's agenda? I think, does it have to be when we do the EAC report? Because I just did
I'll
the
check
EAC
what
report
they want,
Monday, but
I'll check what they want to do, but it should be easy to add. on.
I'd love to get it,
Under new
get
business.
them, yeah. Get them in.
Yeah,
Come up and running
absolutely.
As close to the beginning of the school year as possible.
Would be great.
Okay. So now we're working on a new EAC member, junior EAC members. Okay, putting a lot in front of council. Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Anything else, Nick? Okay. Topics for next month's EAC meeting.
Ideally, the new members will be joining us if they're approved before.
This is when, well, we don't know when the posting will be for,
Oh, new junior.
of
members,
the
sorry.
junior member,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
So we would want to ensure. that they're introductions.
Yes. We will do that this time. We will not miss that this time.
Even if we can't do it at the next meeting, we could, no, because then it would be October 13th.
I mean, they could come in as guests for the next meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's
Okay.
safe.
Yeah.
Okay.
As long as they're here.
Other topics for next meeting. Well, at that point, we know that what we'll do is we'll obviously have, a debrief about Community Day. We will have a debrief about the deer presentation. And then we will be all hands on deck to assist you as best we can.
And share.
Right. For the tree tenders.
Might even actually, I'll ask the guys if I can have a report from the suburban whitetail. Because archery season starts, here in mid-September. Yeah,
We'll throw that back on a project update set.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay. Got it. All right, we'll do that. And I would say, now let's look at the miscellaneous list real quick. Open EAC budget, we're done. 175th, I'll just follow up with that. Regional EA, that's not a project. Birdtown, PA is not a project. We'll move to, we'll move forward on getting it, as a resolution by council. We'll move forward to paying the $100 and so forth, but then it may become, I don't know if it becomes a project. I don't think it's actually a project. It's sort of,
Right, if we have to do the once a year report, it
yeah,
might get lumped in with general reporting,
okay,
but it will have information.
yeah.
Project isn't necessarily.
Okay, so it won't go to project then. Okay. Okay, very good. Anything else?
Motion to adjourn.
Sure. Seems like the right thing to do. Can we have a second?
Hearing none,
All right, meeting adjourned. Thank you very much.